Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, y'all. So, yesterday, man, I didn't really want to make this video, but man, there's some shit that I really gotta say. And I think everyone needs to hear the logic behind this. I've been in business my whole life. That's what my degree's in. And I've been dealing with people my whole life. And I've been helping people my whole life with some aspect of their financials. And I'm just literally completely dumbfounded by where the Democratic Party has gone. And you know, I think the proof in that is that there's so many people that hated Donald Trump, but yet he won this election pretty easily compared to how elections usually go. And I came from the Democratic Party. I left the Democratic Party in 2016, but I originated there. I was raised there. It was the party that fought for Hispanics, that fought for this, that fought for that. But that party has gone into something that is way beyond what it used to be. I mean, the stupidity, and I know that's a horrible word to use, but the stupidity of where they've gone, this is basically what's happened, okay? Our government over the years has spent, and I have a relative that worked for the USAID, just to be real clear, okay? Spent most of his time overseas, got all his flights paid for. When you're a government employee, you don't really have to watch your budget because they pay for everything. And maybe they give you a budget, but you get the point. Your car, your rental car's paid for, your flights paid for, you have a retirement, you have health, you have all this shit. Okay, so he spent his whole life overseas. Okay, but now all we've talked about is how for years and years and years, we're just going into debt and debt and debt. So basically what that means, our government is spending way more money than what they're bringing in on taxes. Now, here's the flip side of that. Look at the pressure already on the working class for how much we pay in taxes as a percentage of our income. It's somewhere between 20 and 30 and sometimes 40%. Well, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. Our taxes should really be between 10 and 12%. And I'm saying that number, that's based on people that put in being able to have some Social Security, being able to have Medicare when they hit that certain age. But our government now that, and thank God we finally have someone in office that's looking at all this. Look at the money we're spending. Now, here's an example, right? Under Joe Biden, we sent not millions, billions of dollars to Ukraine. And we sent them that money because, in my opinion, our government allowed a war to break out because we have weak people in office. But I'm sorry, when you're the leader of the free world, you are responsible for shit that happens in the world. Just like Bush was responsible for starting the fucking war in the Middle East. Yes, we found out that really it wasn't needed. It was a lot of bullshit lies. But he was responsible. And so this is where I think the Democrats are fucking up. Joe Biden's responsible for all that shit that happened in the Middle East, Hamas, Russia going into Ukraine. Okay, so that being said, we have to start. They use this whole, we need to defend Ukraine. Okay, well, maybe we do, but maybe we don't. Maybe you should have just not allowed that war to happen. But anyway, so my point is, we send all this money to Ukraine. We send all this money overseas. And now that they're picking apart, like, where did the money go? Now you're starting to see they are happy to do that because there's a shitload of kickbacks coming from it. All these politicians are getting rich from shit we don't even know about. All these USAID employees, they're getting all this complete lifetime income jobs to be in another country teaching them how to grow bananas better. Like, come on. We have problems here. So the main point is we have needed someone to go in for years and analyze, where are we spending this money? And do we really need to be spending this money? Does this benefit the American taxpayer? And if it doesn't, we shouldn't be spending it. So I just think that the Democratic Party is making huge mistakes because they're fighting off good things that are being done. And I think Trump's smart. He's doing all these good things knowing that they're going to go against it. For example, yesterday, the bill the House passed doesn't tax tips for servers, which I think is a good idea. I'm against any tax, to be honest. It doesn't tax overtime. Now, why is that significant? We need motivation for people to work. Well, if you know when you hit 40 hours, if you're going to do 60 more hours, like 60 hours a week, so an extra 20 hours, and none of those 20 hours is going to get taxed, are you kidding me? Like, if that doesn't motivate you to work, I don't know what does. And so, like, all the Democrats voted against it. Like, really? You voted against that? And it blows my mind what they're doing. Like, just every day when I think they can't get, like, literally stupider from a political standpoint. Like, I get it. The hardcore Democrats, they don't care what the Democrats do. They're going to support them no matter what. It doesn't even matter, like, the logic behind it. They have this sickness. They're, like, convinced, like, anything that the Republicans or Trump does is bad and anything that we do is good. Like, it just blows me away. But the good news is that most of America sees past all of it. And that just means that the Democrats, they're not going to be in power for a long time. And so, like, I just think that they're making a huge mistake, which I'm fine with because I've actually come to not like the party at all. Like, this is another point that needs to be made. So, if there's a manager of a business that's losing money, which is the United States government, if we're spending more money than we're making, and our people are struggling, and things aren't good financially, and you're going to go in there and look at things that you need to cut to take the pressure off of taxpayers, why would anyone have a problem with that? And this is the part that gets me. The Democrats say, well, those people that you're firing needed that job. Okay, so let me get this straight. What you're saying, if we created a job 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and that job was a mistake and never should have been created, and that money should have never been spent on that bullshit, you're mad because now we're dissolving that job? Like, think about it this way. If you have a business, right, and you hire 5 people, and then one of your main employees, like, you know what? I can handle what all of these people are doing. I can do it all. And those other 4 people are just not holding up, like, they're not needed. And so you let those 4 people go. You give the one guy that can do all of it a raise, $4 or $5 an hour raise. What's the problem with that? Like, who cares if somebody lost their job if it was a job that was irrelevant or it was wasted money? Like, that's the reality of life. Any business is going to do that. So the Democrats are basically saying we should keep all these jobs that are irrelevant. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like if it, and so because Donald Trump and these guys have ran successful businesses, why wouldn't we trust that they know if it's a bullshit job or not? I totally trust it. If it was a politician going in there, a career politician, you think I'm going to trust them on if they know if this is a good idea to keep it or not? No, because they want big government. They want those jobs. They don't care about the money. They don't care that we're going into debt. They don't care that the average person is not doing very good right now. So I think most people get it. I mean, like you've got really some of the most successful business people in office, and they're going to trim the fat and get rid of every job that they don't think we need. And of course, the Democrats are saying all they're doing is weakening America because we have less federal employees. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're firing people that aren't holding up their weight, or you realize their job is just ridiculously stupid and you let them go, I'm cool with it. So in summary, like I could go on and on and on about how many mistakes Democrats are making, but they are like they won't even like say we're against trannies, which are men that want to be, with other men basically, and we're gonna like allow them to be in women's sports. Like you can't stand against that. Like they're just making so many mistakes. And then some of them say, no, we don't, that's not the Democratic. Yes, it is. It's the Democratic Party. So maybe you as a Democrat voter don't support that, but the people you're voting for, they do support that. And that's the problem. So be honest, I hope that the Democrats continue to just keep their head straight up their ass. There's no other way to say it. Like, this is some of the stupidest shit I've seen. And I'm in New Mexico. I'm a brown, 6'1", New Mexico raised kid. And I'm seeing this, but I'm educated. I'm not like, I don't have an oath to any party, but I do have an oath to God, and I do have an oath to not being stupid. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know you hate the dude, right? But that's fine. You can hate him all you want. But most people see that what he's doing needed to be done. And I'm sorry, if you lost your job because the job was just needed to be gone, or you weren't doing a very good job, bye. Like join the private sector. Do what most of us do. We don't have a job with guaranteed benefits. We don't have a job where everything's guaranteed. We don't have our flights paid, our rental cars. We don't have all that. So join what most of us go through. And those of you that have government jobs and you have all those benefits, you should be held to a standard, because it's money that's coming from working people. And so most of America absolutely loves what's going on, including me. Like, I think it's a complete blessing that we finally had someone going. Now, are they going to do everything perfect? Maybe not. Who does everything perfect? But the whole premise of what they're doing is absolutely beautiful. And so, like, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. Because I do know people that are Democrats, and I just don't know what they're like. I don't like it. They've gotten so. I mean, let's just say it this way. Thank God for the hardcore Democrats, because they are literally like making it so obvious what their party stands for. They're making it so obvious, basically the shit show that they run. Like they're still saying that Joe Biden left us the best economy ever. The best economy, okay, there is jobs out there, but you know why those jobs are out there? Because the government spent a shitload of money and threw it into the economy. But that doesn't mean the economy's good. That spending was debt spending. So a good economy means that the government doesn't have to put money in, and that there's a lot of money exchanging hands amongst us, but that's not happening. People don't have money. So this bullshit, you're going to just keep saying, oh, the economy's good. You're full of fucking shit. The economy is not good. The powerhouse companies like the airlines and those big companies, they have money. They're giving people jobs. But the average person that has a regular job, the economy is not good. They're not doing good. So you Democrats want to keep saying all those stupid things that most Americans don't agree with, go ahead. Just keep the Republicans in power. And I think it's going to be a long time, because I don't see any Democrats. There's very few, like even the Democrats I see in politics that, like the Tim Scotts of Ohio, that actually have a head on their shoulders. When they ran against Biden, he got like 4% of the voting and Biden got in the 80s. That told me that these voters, they are beyond help. So anyhow, I don't really make a lot of videos. I post political shit that I just can't believe, but this is probably the first video where I actually talked about what I see and what I think, but I just had to do it because this shit is just ridiculous. So let's see how much money we get back. And by the way, the Doge department should have existed years ago. Why have we not had a department that checked all other agencies? Think about it. This should be it. And here's the problem. If the Democrats ever win an election again, they're going to get rid of Doge because they don't want it. They don't want to be checked. They don't want someone to oversee them. They want to take our money, do what they want with it, get rich, and that's what they want to do. The Republicans that went into office are in office. They don't need the fucking money. They have money, plenty of money. So they're just going in there and saying, you know what? Look at all these, like these politicians are just soaking these people up. We have lived, and then they tease you by the Democrats really like, oh, we're going to make sure Medicaid's good for you. Come on, man. That's the dumbest argument ever. So I'm just really glad this shit's happening. And you know, I think I think if they do it right, I mean, there's still things to judge the conservatives on, but like literally they're doing an 8,000 times better than the Democratic Party. So let's just see how this pans out. But I think 100% if Doge saves X amount of dollars and they feel like they should refund us some of that money, send it, ship it. I'll be straight up. If the taxpayers get $3,000 to $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 back from Doge, we deserve it. And that'll be more than the Democrats ever did for us, ever. Period. So I'm Dan Garcia. I'm in New Mexico. And I don't have my head up my ass. And believe me, I go with the people that are making sense. And if you ain't making sense, I'm out. And thank God that most of America feels the same way. Have a beautiful Tuesday. God bless.